Hello, my name is Jim Hawking, and I'm the founder of Water for Good. I grew up in the Central African Republic, and I was able to grow my family in the Central African Republic. In fact, two of my kids were actually born there, Joel and John. And we really enjoyed life there in the Central African Republic. My kids love to play soccer with our neighborhood kids, and they also did all kinds of other things that we don't normally do here in the States, but were tremendous fun for my kids as well as the African kids. So their friends would play games with them. They would encourage me to fix other things that they normally didn't have. So we had a swinging gate. We had a seesaw that I built out of steel and very durable. I had wooden seats on it, but very durable. They would climb in trees all the time. In fact, two of my kids one of them broke an arm, one of them broke a leg, playing in trees. It's just Africans climb in trees. And then they would try and teach the Central Africans how to play baseball. Now, you never realize how many rules are in baseball until you actually try and teach it to somebody. There's just tons of rules, when it's out of bounds, when it's a strike zone, how far to run, where the bases are, what happens in between the bases. If you stop there, you're going to get out. Oh, it's just dumb. So we finally gave up on that, but we tried many times to teach some of the Central African friends of my kids how to play baseball. We ended up most of the time playing volleyball, basketball, and soccer. Those are the sports that they knew very well, knew how to handle it, knew what to do, and so that's what we played most of the time. Now, I took my kids on camping trip. In fact, we would have missionary camping trips. In other words, a few of the dads, 3 or 4 of the dads, would take all the missionary kids, boys and girls alike, and go camping. We did one of these at a station called Bugila, the medical center. We did one of those at Basai, one of the former mission stations. We would take all the kids and do a 3-4 day camping trip and take our food up. We would cook our own food. We had just tons of fun. The kids really, really enjoyed it. And we'd go on hikes all around the area. And those were just tremendous opportunities to get to know our kids really, really well. Now, 2 of my kids went to boarding school. They went, Jay and Jenny went to boarding school in the Congo, but most of my kids were trained 90% of the time by my wife. My wife was a music ed teacher. Well, trained as a music ed teacher. She taught some music there at the high school in Yaluke, but she also taught our kids from preschool all the way through junior high, and then the kids came home. So our 2 younger kids came home at that point. We were evacuated out, they came home. But my 2 older kids were actually at the missionary boarding school in Congo. And my wife really enjoyed that. It was a lot of work. I was the principal, so I just had to lower the boom now and then, but really my wife did all of the work all of the time. Now, granted, we had help. So we had some nationals that worked and helped her in gardening because she always grew a garden. She had a garden there in Africa. She has a garden here. She loves to garden. She loves flowers. So we would have flowers. Now, Africans don't keep a lawn. So they clean off all the front yard. They don't want a lawn because scorpions and spiders and tarantulas and snakes, they hide in grass. And so they saw no reason to have grass. They would actually sweep it off, clean out all the grass and sweep it off. And every morning that was the job of one of the kids, is to sweep it off. Now my daughter would go down and play with her friends, but oftentimes she discovered that her friends had responsibilities in the house. They had to take care of a younger sibling, they had to haul water. So it wasn't as much fun, and it was a while before she learned how to actually tie a baby on her back, and she would bring a baby up from the village that she would be caring for. And I said, whose baby is this? How can you take him away? And she said, well, the mom needs to work and the kids are all hauling water and doing things, so I'm taking care of the baby. That's the way it worked. So growing up in the Central African Republic, you're able to teach your kids two different cultures and how to handle it. It's difficult at times, but it's really advantageous because they learn how two different cultures work at the same time. Thank you very much.